Good evening, friends, and namaste. I'm Dr. Preeti Kohli. I'm a homeopathic physician, and I'm here today to talk about how you can find your awakened self by mindfulness and meditation. So, very warm welcome. And before I come to the main topic, I'll share a little about my story. I consider myself blessed because I was introduced to meditation at a very early age. So at the age of 15, I started meditating regularly just because my father used to do it and he shared it with us. And what I noticed was that all those times that I was meditating regularly, especially in the medical college, the medical studies, the times that was really a lot of studies, I needed much lesser sleep. The concentration was better. I was so much more relaxed. So it really helped me at that time. Of course, I didn't know the real connection. Why was this happening? But after I went on to become a doctor, and I then realized and came across a lot of scientific studies. A lot of scientific studies have been done in the later part of the last century, where they have actually wired up the yogis and the Tibetan monks, and they noticed what happens to them in their brains when they are meditating. And they realized so many of the benefits that meditation has, which we will further talk about. So, a very warm welcome to this wonderful topic, and I hope that I can share a lot of about the advantages and how you can practice. And before we move on, I would like to thank the Lifecare team for giving me this opportunity. I constantly share about meditation with with my patients because, of course, as a doctor, we are being taught always that precaution is better than cure. And I'd like to congratulate the Lifecare team also for taking this step to bring this topic into this session because this is really a way that you can actually step up your health. You can really find the awakened self that you can be. So it would only be fair that we actually start with a 2-minute meditation, this topic that we are doing. But before we do that, I'll share a story with you. This story is very dear to my heart. It's about Gautam Buddha, whose very closest disciple, his brother Ananda, was once with him and they were walking through a jungle. They were moving from one village to the other. And as Buddha felt a little thirsty, he used to only carry his begging bowl, the empty begging bowl. And he told Ananda, his disciple, Ananda, we just left that river behind. I will rest here. Can you please go back? And can you please bring me some water to drink? I'm thirsty. So Ananda went there and he came back without any water in the bowl. And he said that this water was very dirty. It was not worth drinking. So, Buddha, you can still wait here. Let me go ahead and I will go to the next river that I find and I'll bring you water. Buddha, being the master he was, didn't lose this opportunity. He said, no, Ananda, go back to that same river. Go there and bring me water. And Ananda was surprised. Why is he insisting? So he started going as the master had said. And then Gautama said, remember, Ananda, as you go there, if the water is still dirty, just wait there. Just wait, sit at the bank till it becomes clear and then bring me the water. And that is what then Ananda did. As he went, he realized that the water had cleared. He realized that a bullock cart had just passed there, bringing up all the mud. And he just sat there till it became clear and he brought the water for Buddha. What Buddha was really doing was giving him the essence of meditation. So, as we will now practice meditation, friends, all we are going to do is do nothing. We will close our eyes, we will watch our breath, and just as if watching on the side and sitting on the side and just watching, as if watching the breath. If any thoughts come, we will just watch the thoughts. Okay? So 2 minutes, friends. You can sit wherever you are Of course, don't do it if you're driving. Wherever you're sitting, take a comfortable posture. If you're lying down, that's also okay. And you can just close your eyes. Eyes are the doors of the mind. So we are just bringing all our senses back to ourselves. And just keep your awareness now with your breath. The breath is the one which is always in the present moment. So for 2 minutes, just be with your breath. You don't need to change the rhythm of the breath at all. You're not going to be breathing slower or deeper, just the natural rhythm of the breath, that is. Just watch it, be with it. A very relaxed and gentle awareness. And just as you watch your breath, you'll notice that you start becoming more and more relaxed. Allow that to happen. And it's okay if it's not yet happening. Whatever it is, just watch it and accept it. Just for 1 more minute, my dear friends, just observing what is without any judgments. Without any judgments, whether this is a good thought or a bad thought. Simply watch your breath. All you're doing is befriending your breath. And just 10 more seconds, my dear friends. Be with your breath, your natural, gentle breath, coming into the moment completely with your breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. And slowly you may rub your palms together. You may now cup them, put them on your eyes, and then slowly open your eyes. And welcome back. All those wonderful friends could meditate with us. I'd like you to notice what happened. How did it feel? As you just spent that time doing nothing, just with your breath. It is as simple as this. Meditation is as simple as this. We'll talk more about the science of meditation now. So, we already have some question. Let me just take it up. So, there is Anil from Pune who's asking that there are so many meditation techniques. Which one should I do? So, friends, let's understand really what meditation is. We are constantly doing something. We are interacting with the world. All our attention, all our focus is on the outside. Meditation is the time when you take to just be. When actually you do nothing. Even in those times when we physically sit down and do nothing, our mind is still working. And the mind's nature is just like a monkey. It jumps from one branch to the other. So our mind is the one which has actually a difficulty in not doing anything. So what we need to do when we are meditating, when we want to just be, connect to this being state which is meditation, is we need to actually quieten the mind. And how do we best do this? The best way is that we anchor the mind, we give it one task, one thing to be with. And when we give it that one thing to be with, it just is there, and then slowly it can become more and more relaxed if you allow it to become relaxed. and it can start becoming thoughtless. So different techniques that are prevalent. Some people use different mantras. So when they're using a mantra, they're coming to that one mantra, and then after chanting that, they give up the chanting. So the mind, which is going in different directions, first comes to one thing, and then just by relaxing and being with that one thing, it can go to that state of emptiness, to that state of thoughtlessness. It is very difficult if we try to fight the mind, if we try to say, I need to be thoughtless. It's like, if I tell you that right now, don't think of ice cream. Whatever you want to think, but don't think of ice cream. And of course, what would happen is thoughts of ice cream would come. Whatever your favorite, you want to eat it now. So, mind is just like that. We can't tell it to become quiet. All we need to do is just keep it on that one thing. The simplest way is to be with the breath. The breath is the one that connects the body, the mind, the emotions, and the soul. So, as you just in a relaxed way be with the breath, automatically it starts to quieten down. So, that's one of the easiest techniques to really meditate. Okay, and we have one more question. So, Prathamesh is asking, when is the best time to meditate? The best time is the time that really suits you. Most people really find mornings very easy. Of course, early morning when there is no sound, there is no activity that has already started is ideal. But if you are a person who's still very sleepy till 7 and can't get up early and meditate, then don't do that. Then you can practice maybe in the afternoon if that is a time where relatively you can find a time where you can just sit and meditate in a relaxed way. Some people prefer the night. Even evening is okay. So whatever time suits you, but do find an appropriate time for yourself. I would suggest experiment and see what time really suits you. And then once you decide, once you recognize that yes, evening is the time that suits me the best, that I'm not so busy, my mind is not already full with the to-do list, and I can sit down and I can find that time, then stick to that time because that will really help you. It becomes like a wonderful habit, and every evening, as that time is coming, you're already ready to go into that relaxed state. Yeah. So find that appropriate time for yourself. And Priya is asking, how can meditation help the children and the teenagers? So wonderful. So very young children till the age of 5 usually don't need to meditate. Meditation is actually our natural state. And because we have disconnected a lot from the natural state, we need to meditate. But starting from the age of 5 years, going up to wherever you are, we need to start meditating. For a child of 5 years, 5 minutes of meditation is enough. The ideal time of meditation is the uh, age. So, the number of minutes of your age. So, if you're 30 years old, it will be 30 minutes. If you're 5 years old, it will be 5 minutes. Now, with kids, there are different fun ways that you can actually help them to practice meditation. There is a lot online with storytelling and with bringing in games as well. You can bring in meditation. And sometimes just simply when you prepare them with games, maybe mindfulness games, there are beautiful techniques that are available online. So I'll share with you one of these wonderful techniques that one of my friends does. So the King Janaka, who used to practice meditation, he used to say that whatever I am doing, I have to do it very meditatively. It's almost like if there is something in your hand which is so precious, you can't let it fall. And you're doing everything, but at the same time, you have to take care that this doesn't fall. So, this colleague of mine designed this game where they would give the kids a glass of water. And the children have to move around, and they have to move around and they have to reach a particular place. But the winner is the one who makes sure that the water doesn't spill. They reach that place, but the water doesn't spill. So it starts bringing this quality of mindfulness and meditation in kids. So maybe we can start with something like that for young children and then help them to just connect 5 minutes. Okay, now we can just close our eyes and be with ourselves. Also telling them stories that how it is so wonderful to connect with yourself. So just as outside people need our attention and we are giving our attention to other people all the time, we ourselves deserve this love and attention. So, in the way of stories, bringing this idea to them, connecting them to this, really helps them also close their eyes. I'll share with you a beautiful story that I usually tell the kids when we do this meditation uh, camps, 2 3 days meditation thing for kids. The story that we tell them is about the Golden Buddha. So, in Thailand, many years back, it happened that there was this golden statue, Golden Buddha, and at that time, this country was going to be attacked. So the monks there knew that when the country attacks, they would obviously take the statue for the gold. The statue meant a lot to them, not for the gold, but more so for the devotion. And they wanted to just protect it at any cost. So what they did was that they covered it up with clay. Layers of clay went on it. And what happened in that war was that all these monks were killed. So this statue remained there. Now, a clay statue, a clay Buddha statue, remained there. And over a period of time, new monks came in there who didn't know anything about it. About 200 to 50 years later, when they wanted to build a highway from there, the government wanted to build a highway, and they said that we want to lift this statue and we place it somewhere, the new place that they were giving. And as they brought in the machines, they couldn't really pull it up because it was so heavy. And then, as there was also a crack, and then the monk actually found that there was light which was shining from there. Hence, it happened that this monk then actually chiseled out all that layer of the clay and found that actually the statue was a golden statue. So, this is a story that we tell the kids, saying that you may think that you are this little child and who's not able to do well in maths or who's not able to do well in this, who may not be a good artist, like how in kids sometimes they are discouraged so many times. But there is this golden nature in you. There is this golden Buddha inside each of us, which we can discover. And we tell them that meditation is the way of shining that light. What we are doing is that we are actually removing those layers of clay so that we ourselves can find that golden Buddha. So that's one of the very effective ways of doing it with kids. Thank you for asking that, Priya. And I would say for teenagers, it is something which is so necessary. Teenage is the time where they are losing, where they are actually trying to be with the peers and actually getting into so many things, which then takes them astray. So when they are connected with themselves, when they are meditating, they are getting the inner strength to really cope with those stresses and they are more calm. And so we have many teenagers who benefited so much from that. So we have more questions. Sanket Agrawal says, I have noticed my mind keeps playing songs sometimes while meditating. How to deal with that? Wonderful, Sanket. Thank you for asking that. And like we said that the nature of the mind is to just chat on. And sometimes it could happen that if you're taking something in too much, that could be the thing playing. Like if the first song that I hear in the morning, and if I'm meditating, probably it could happen that for the first 5 minutes that song is coming to the mind. So it's like I have taken this food in the form of those thoughts or that song. If that's the reason, then you can just do something which will help you to then get into that state of meditation. Sometimes just physical activity, pranayam, some kind of breathing exercise really helps, because you're doing something which is kind of again coming back to yourself, shutting out everything else, and then going into that state of not doing anything. So that could be one of the things. However, if that is not the case, if it's not like you've heard the song or whatever, and you don't need to do anything about it, just non judgment. It's okay if the song is there. The mind will do its own thing. We need to do our own thing. We need to just be with the breath. The three key things is observing whatever is happening, but that observation without any judgment. Acknowledging what is. So if a song is coming, it's coming. If my mind is very restless today, it's restless today. If I'm very angry today, it's okay. Just acknowledging it and accepting it. So if we keep these three things in mind, observation, acknowledgement, and acceptance, don't fight it. Because if we are fighting it, we are giving more energy to it. It will automatically just start going. Do let me know if that happens. And wonderful Darshan is saying, what do you do when you are experiencing physical discomfort and meditating? Example, itching, tickles, bites from insects, backache. So Darshan, if the symptom is very discomforting, for example, sometimes when the leg is really feeling the blood flow has been blocked and it's really numb, or the back is aching too much, if you need to change the posture, do that. But do that with your eyes still closed. If you can sit through it, do that. When we meditate, when the mind starts actually becoming empty of the thoughts, when we start connecting to that state of meditation, which is the no thought state, we actually receive a lot of energy. There is cosmic energy all around us, which we get only during our periods of sleep. All through the day, we are only spending energy. Even if we are just sitting and not doing anything with our eyes open, we are spending energy. The only time we are receiving energy typically is during sleep. But if you are meditating, at that time you receive a lot of energy. Sometimes when we are receiving this energy, we would have had some blockages. We all have certain energy blockages. जो हम बोलते हैं नाड़ियाँ, जो 72,000 नाड़ीज होती हैं, which yogis talk about, they develop blockages and hence the illnesses get formed. Illnesses are formed later. But the blockages are there with all of us. And when we are receiving this energy, the energy is actually clearing out a lot of these blockages. So a lot of this itching sensation or feeling like an insect is sitting, or I'm feeling something here, is actually that energy which is working on you. So if you can stay there without moving, please sit there. Help that energy to just clear up a lot of stuff. Okay? So if you can't, move a little bit, but with eyes closed. If you can sit through it, that's better. And Usha Khurana is asking, how is meditation different than prayer? So prayer is usually we are praying to somebody else. The focus is still outside. We are praying to a particular God to give us something. Meditation is we are not having anything outside. We are just coming back to ourselves. When we are doing that, there is also this understanding that actually these gods are within us. So we need to connect to this wonderful being, this wonderful strength, this new being which is also there in us. When we are meditating, we are actually giving us the opportunity to connect to that. Yeah? Tahir Ansari is saying, should I always meditate in the same place? Tahir, that's not necessary. You can meditate anywhere. In fact, there are so many people who spend so much time traveling, and if they're comfortable meditating, traveling, they do that. However, if you do find a place where you can meditate every day, that is going to help. It's like this is my workplace, and when I sit here, I automatically start connecting to God. So when this is a meditation place for me, the energy starts building up, and the moment I come there, I start connecting to that. It helps me to automatically disconnect with all the other things and connect to myself. So if you do have the chances and the luxury of doing that, please do that. And we have Irfan Sheikh saying, what's the best time of the day to meditate? Irfan, we already spoke about this, but I'll say this again for you. You can find your best time to meditate. Early morning suits a lot of people, but if you are a person who can't get up early morning, who's not fresh, then don't force yourself on that. You can try early morning for some time, maybe a week. But if it's not really your time, then you can meditate in the afternoon or in the evening, or even just before you go to sleep. Make sure that you're not very tired when you sit to meditate, otherwise, you'll go to sleep. So, do find some time when you're not that tired. Yeah? And Yasmin is saying, what do you want to do if you are tempted to itch or toggle during meditation? So, Yasmin, like I mentioned, that if it's too irresistible, then you can. However, if you can resist, it will go away by itself. Our mind actually plays all the tricks also. It's been our master for the longest period. And when we are sitting to meditate, our mind doesn't want to really allow that to happen, because somewhere we are really connecting to the real master. So yes, in the beginning, when you sit to meditate, the first 10 minutes, usually a lot of these things will happen. But if you persist, if you don't move and persist, you come to a point, a threshold point. Beyond that, there will be no problem. So try that if you can. There's also one more question. What's the best breathing method while meditating? So Pravina, usually when we are meditating, we are being with the natural rhythm of the breath. The different pranayams that are there, they are for exercising the prana. The pranayam is prana, yama is the exercise. So when you're doing the pranayam, we are exercising the breath. But in meditation, it is a state of not doing anything. So what we are actually doing is we are using the breath as an anchor, so that our mind can be with the breath. It could be a fast rhythm that a particular day you're having, or it could be very gentle and relaxed breath on a certain day. Whatever is, we will only be with that, we will notice that, and we will be with the breath. We're not going to try to change the breath at all. Yeah? So that's the difference between the pranayama and the meditation. So meditation is really being more relaxed, not doing anything. Vikram says, is it okay to meditate on my bed? Yes, Vikram, that's perfect. You can meditate on your bed. Try to sit up with the back straight, ideally, so that you don't go to sleep. Because a lot of the times when we have not been used to meditation, the only time we are relaxed and we say, okay, we are not going to do anything, is when we want to sleep. So we don't want to do that. So do something different. It's ideal to sit with your back straight when you want to meditate, and bed is okay. Alok is asking, what is the best breathing method while meditating? Alok, we just answered that your natural breath is what you need to be with when you're meditating. You're not changing the rhythm at all. Yeah? And Sanket says, what's the best time to meditate? Early mornings or before sleeping? Sanket, find your ideal time. Early mornings is great. Most people really like it. However, if you're a person who's not very fresh in the morning, who can't get up, then don't punish yourself. Even the night is good. So for me, right now, night is what really makes me happy. I can meditate the best at that time. So if that's a time that you can meditate, that is great also. Yeah, find your appropriate time. Prachi says, any particular direction to face while meditating? No, Prachi, all directions are God's directions. You can sit anywhere. That's absolutely fine. And And then the other says, how do I learn to meditate? Wonderful. So, Abunanji, meditation basically, we just, I'll tell you now that you asked this question. So, what we do is that we sit with the back straight, okay? And I'll just share about this technique which is called Anapanasati. So, everybody who's there, they can also understand about this technique. The Anapanasati is, Ana means incoming breath, Pana means outgoing breath, and Sati means being one with the breath. So what you can do is, you can just find a very comfortable posture for yourself, ideally the back straight. You can cross your legs and you can also put your fingers together in your laps and you can close your eyes. So what we are doing is, we are really bringing all our awareness to ourselves and we are being with our breath, watching the incoming and the outgoing breath. The breath is anyways coming and going at whatever rhythm it is, but we are not really aware about it. So that our mind starts to settle down, what we are doing is, we are just coming to our breath. And just by doing that, the mind starts to settle down. We don't have to do it. In between, of course, there will be thoughts that will come and that will go. Take a notice, acknowledge that thought that, okay, this has come, but now come back to the breath. Yeah? So before you even start feeling guilty or say, oh, why did I go there? Just, it's okay, acknowledge the thought, accept it, come back to the breath. So that's what you do. If you are 30 years old, ideally take out 30 minutes of your time to meditate. So whatever your age, that much, those many minutes is what is going to be helpful to really take out for meditation. As you start taking time out, 40 days, make a firm commitment that you will do it every day. Yeah. So when we start doing anything new, the body obviously will resist. It's not so easy, but it becomes part of our practice. It becomes part of us when we actually do it with a firm commitment for 40 days. So it will be wonderful if you start today and you say 40 days without missing a single day, I'm going to meditate. That is something that always helps. Be gentle with yourself. Like we say that the mind always, the mind should be calm, but there are going to be days when it is very restless and there are all kinds of thoughts and we are not able to feel peaceful at all. That's okay. Meditation is like any other technique and we take time to learn it. So be very gentle with yourself. Don't be harsh on yourself. Give yourself that time. Don't judge yourself for that. Okay? Make sure that you still take time out. This is a time that actually you're taking for yourself, to be with yourself. So this is a time of self-love, of self-care. Please take that time for yourself. Yeah? Manisha is asking, what is the ideal age to start training kids to meditate? Manisha, 5 years is a good age. You can start with 5 minutes with the small kids. I just spoke before. Sometimes we also do games. We can tell them stories to really help them to sit and practice that meditation. Okay? Rushali is saying, can children do medication? I guess you mean meditation. Yes, Rushali, of course. It will be very nice and it's very easy for them. They have not really moved away from themselves. It is so easy when you start meditating as children. Yeah? So ideal age to start. Will I need to make lifestyle changes? So lifestyle changes, when you start practicing meditation, you automatically start becoming more mindful. And when you start becoming more mindful, you automatically then want to make any changes that will be beneficial for you. Yeah. Now that you brought up lifestyle changes, I'd like to hear also acknowledge that a lot of the problems, even a lot of diseases that are prevalent today, are because of lifestyle problems. So when people develop these problems, when they go to doctors, a lot of the things that the doctors are telling them is anyways lifestyle changes. So what meditation does is, even if you're not having any problem, you start becoming more mindful. You start becoming more mindful that if I'm so angry and I'm carrying this anger for so long, forget the other, I'm just hurting myself. So automatically you will change the way that you are thinking. You will drop the anger. You will start feeling more peaceful. You will start noticing what is really not helping you. And once you do that, of course, you will do it by yourself. But it is not a prerequisite for meditation. So you can start doing meditation. Meditation, when we are doing it on the mat, when we are taking time and sitting, meditating, the quality of meditation slowly starts to spread over our day. We actually need to bring that wonderful quality on our in our day. So off the mat, we really need to practice that wonderful quality. So when we experience peace and joy meditating, obviously when you get up from the mat, if you're going to again be angry, it doesn't. It will be wonderful when you bring that quality of peace and joy into your relationships. That is exactly what mindful relationships are, right? So those little changes start happening. It will be nice for you to bring them because they will really change your life in a beautiful way. Thank you for bringing that. And Ash is saying, Manny Rico asked, is it okay to lie down and meditate? What's the best way to sit or lie down? Is it okay to listen to music while meditating, or is silence better? So, sitting is better, but if you have any back issue or if you're not very comfortable, then it's okay to lie down. The back should be straight. So, lying down is okay if you can't keep it straight. And the next thing that you asked is music. Music is okay. You can take help of music, but make sure that it's very gentle, soft instrumental music, not with any words which actually again make you to go into the silence. Nikhil Jain is asking, what is more effective to reduce stress, boxing or meditation? Nikhil, if there is anger, if there is a lot of energy of anger, then the boxing will actually help to take out that energy. It's like if you need to empty yourself out, the boxing is only going to help you with that. However, that will be momentary. So when you suppose if you keep getting angry, you need to box again and again. The change in you happens with meditation. Meditation is actually the alchemy, is what will help you transform the anger. Boxing will help you release it. Meditation will help you transform it. So yes, in the long run, definitely meditation is what is helpful. You can use boxing if you need to 1 or 2 times, but not on a regular basis. That's not something that will bring you out of it. Okay? Kalpana ji is asking, I love to meditate with music without lyrics and dance alone. I'm totally in a different peaceful world. Would you regard this as a good mode of meditation? So music, do you mean music, with music you're dancing, or these are two separate things, that you're meditating with music and you're dancing with music? So if you can clarify that, dancing is great with the music, but it will be nice if you also take time